A lot of people come in and see us in the clinic and talk about the fact that their glutes aren't working or their glutes aren't strong. It's quite often not the case, all right? There's always work we can do when it comes to strength, but glutes will be there. It's just about almost encouraging them or changing your movement patterns to encourage them to work more effectively to support your hip. All right, so try this exercise. All right, I do this with a lot of people. We talk about extension control. All right, so if you can't fully extend your hip, or you don't want to fully extend your hip, you don't know how to fully extend your hip without leaning back. A lot of people will lean back. Then you're never really going to truly get a good contraction out of those glute muscles. Okay, so I like to do this little marching flow. Okay, so to begin with, again, I always use a pole. I go overhead. You can absolutely come across your chest. You can even not bother with the arms at all. But if I go with the pole overhead, all right, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my knee and I'm going to reach on there. All right, so I'll dig into the actual detail of that in a minute, but this is all I'm going to do with people. Sorry, overbalanced. All right, if all I ask the person to do is lift their knee, all right, I'm still sat in an element of flexion in that hip. My knee is now flexed. All right, my balance is struggling a little bit. But what I want from that person is I want them to squeeze that knee, so that knee straightens. And as soon as that knee straightens, you feel a little bit more activation through that glute, okay? Then when we've got that knee straight, I want you to try and lift that knee a little bit higher. The higher we lift that knee, whilst also maintaining that knee extension there, we're absolutely going to get a really good contraction through the glutes, okay? So that's all I'm looking to do as we work through that movement, okay? So that's step one. Step two is to create a little bit of a tilt. So we're going to go up, and then we're going to just lift the arm on the stance leg side, okay? So we're going to go up, make sure that knee's in extension, lift that knee high, then we're going to lift that arm, and we're going to move on. And we're going to lift, move on, and lift, okay? Managed to do that without falling over. But now all we're doing is getting a little bit of lateral pelvic tilt, okay? And then the last one, we're going to do the same, but now we're going to rotate, all right? So we're going to lift up, keeping that knee straight, keeping that knee high, maintain that position, and we're going to rotate. So I'm keeping my knee here, pointing forwards, rather than rotating out. So I'm going to keep that stability there, rotate, bring it back, move on. Up you come, rotate, bring it back, move on. So try those 3 different levels of that drill and just see if you feel a little bit more contraction going on through your hips, all right? And that's a really good exercise for anyone who's struggling with a bit of back pain, but to be honest, you can give it to anyone.